Hello, boy, it sure is good to be alive. This is November 18th, 2017. This is number 33 on the road with Charles Fockaert. And I got something here I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and there's one item I don't have, but I got a note here so I don't forget it. And by the way, this is about the Creator. This is about Yahweh, Yahshua, the Creator, and that he created a level plain earth with a firmament above, and above that is waters. That's why the sky is blue. You got a better explanation, put it in the comments below. And there's waters below, and the Antarctica is the circle of ice 200 feet tall that holds the oceans in. So if you don't like that idea, this video is not for you. See ya. Also, the Creator has created his creation so that we can see his how awesome he is. And I don't even like to use that word, it's overused, but because the words can't even describe our Creator. And I'm going to go to Romans chapter 1 here in a minute. Maybe we'll go take a look at that right now. But so if you believe in the Big Bang, that in the beginning there was nothing, and then billions and billions and billions of years later, nothing became something, and then billions and billions and billions of years after that, something became everything. If you believe that, then this video is not for you, and see ya. But if you believe in a Creator, if you believe that the Scripture was written for the Israelites, Scripture was written by Israelites for the most part, to Israelites, for Israelites, and about Israelites, then this is the place for you. And I don't think you're going to find too many other YouTube channels that have this point of view. The Esau Edomites, put the parentheses around them, they're not the Israelites of the Old Testament, despite what John Hagee and Benny Hinn and all those other heretics say, and all the Judeo-Christian pastors, those 501c3 pastors tell you. That's not the case, folks, and little by little, Yahweh is wakening up his people, but there isn't going to be a mass awakening, folks. Not going to happen. It's a remnant, small amounts, very small number of people are going to get it, and maybe that'll change as time goes on, but for right now, there's only a few of us, and I happen to be one of them. And many of you who watch this channel are also part of the remnant. That's not the subject of this video. The subject of this video is God's creation, and we're going to get to that right now, shall we? Now, I never bought into the Big Bang or evolution theory at all, ever since I was a young boy. I looked around me when I lived back there outside of Detroit, and I went into the back field behind our house there. I said, there has to be a God. Of course, I went to the Catholic Church just down the road, and that helped somewhat. But I wanted to read here Romans 1:18. For the wrath of God, the wrath of Yahweh is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. And that word hold there means suppress, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of Yahweh is manifest in them, for Yahweh hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, he's divine, so that they are without excuse. You meet an atheist who says there is no God and that all of this happened from nothing, all the creation that we see, he's a fool. and he's without excuse, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. And this one I really like. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. People who believe in evolution, if you're one of them, guess what? You're a fool. You think you're wise. All these scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson and that speed walker, I can't remember his name. Thank God I forgot it. And all of these other highfalutin quote scientists in the new religion. It's the New Age religion, the religion of the world of the Babylonian system, science with a capital S. And the high priest of the science, of the new religion of science, are the scientists. The scientists say this, and the scientists say that, and the majority of the scientists say this, and blah, 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 blah. It's all a bunch of male cow dung. Now, let's get on to what I wanted to show you, shall we? I'm going to start with an apple. This is one of my favorite fruits. And you know how you can tell? You know, I hate mushy apples, don't you? You know how you can tell if an apple's not mushy? You push on these little knobs here on the bottom, and if it's not mushy there, the apple's not mushy. And I really like these apples, and I wanted to show you the package. God, Yahweh, Yahshua the Creator, is just so remarkable. Engineering and intelligence, and you can fill in the words that I'm at a loss for right now. But different colors. We have the green apple. It's not just one color, folks. He's got red apples and green apples. Some of them are good for eating raw, and some of them are good for baking. Baked apples with some little bit of sugar on them and some cinnamon. Good. And you can eat this package, this skin. You can eat that. Then we have the pear. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says the world is not actually round, it's more pear-shaped. So this is what actually, according to the scientist, this is what the world actually looks like. If you believe that, something about a bridge that I could sell you. And you know, here's another. This isn't a fruit, but this is so many different kinds of potatoes, right? And I understand you can eat the skins of these. And baked potato, I really like on my rocket stove. I'll wrap this in tinfoil, as many of you have done. Put some slices in it, wrap it in tinfoil, put that on the rocket stove first, so that it gets cooked, because it takes longer than whatever else I put on there, the veggies and the meat. And I wanted to show you this little package here. See, you can't eat this skin, but he's got limes, and he created limes, and I have a lemon. I didn't bring it here. I don't need to show you what a lemon looks like, but we got limes and lemons. I like to take the water here, because the water I got at the Valley of Fire for free had a yucky taste to it, so I squeeze this into the gallon, and it kind of cuts that bad taste out. And then we got you know, pomegranates. They're kind of a hassle, but isn't that a beautiful piece of fruit there? My grandfather, when he lived in Southern California, he was alive. He was when he was in Michigan, he was a grocer, and he ran, I think it was for Alpha Beta, back in Detroit. He ran the grocery, and he had a garden in Michigan that was just unbelievable. We used to go over there, and he had every kind of fruit: plums, grapes. Can't remember with the little not pomegranates, but it'll come to me. They're little orange things. And all different kinds of apples and the plums I mentioned, and the vegetables. They were really big into green vegetables. And then we got, speaking of vegetables, look at this. Carrot. You know how much water's in a carrot? When I go hiking, I always bring carrots, because when you get when you're sweating and you're exerting, you're losing your water, you need to replace your water, and carrots have a lot of water in it. If you don't realize that, it's because you're not very thirsty. Maybe you're drinking too much junk. All these. You know what? I haven't had a Pepsi. I haven't had a Coke. I haven't had a Sprite. I haven't had a Dr. Pepper for as long as I can remember, at least back to the 80s. We never let our children, our young children, drink any of that stuff. Only juice. Only juice. Apple juice. You can make apple juice. We used to make pear juice. We used to make every kind of juice that we could think of, and out of the fruit that we could squeeze and make juice, and we used to buy it also. Look at the onion. You know, the package on the onion, you can't eat the onion skin, but you don't have to, but it's the perfect package, you know. And you've heard the saying, you peel away the onion skin. And then there's not just one kind of onion. This is the last of my red onion. And then we also have, I forget, these are what, sweet onions? I forget what they call these, but I try to buy different kinds, because each one of them has their own healthy benefits for us. And a lot of people don't eat certain foods because it doesn't taste good to them. Well, that's because, one, you're not hungry enough, and number two, you're eating so much of that other man-made food, packaged food, that and they put ingredients in there to get you hooked on their food, and you don't eat food necessarily because it tastes good. That's just an added benefit. I eat food because it's good for me. Different kinds of vegetables are good for me. And then we got the orange. We got the orange in a beautiful package there. Right? Protects it. And you can make juice out of this. And there's different kind of oranges now. And then, of course, we got the banana. Isn't that the perfect package? Some people say this is the perfect fruit. I don't know, but there are quite a few perfect fruit. But the banana's got potassium in it, and the orange has got vitamin C, etc. And we all need that. And I wish I had an avocado, but I ate the last one last night. I love the avocado, don't you? The perfect package. You cut it in half with a knife, open it up, and there's the big seed inside. Then you can use a spoon and eat it right out of the package. And or you can scoop it out, flip it over, cut it, put it on top of a salad, a green salad. And then we got romaine lettuce, we got red leaf lettuce, we got iceberg lettuce, we got green leaf lettuce. We got all kinds of lettuce that we can eat, and we can make different green salad. I try to have a green salad every day. I wanted to bring this to your attention here. Here's a piece of garlic. I don't have a whole garlic clove, the big one, to show you, because what I do, and let me get the pot so I can show you how I do it, because this is a nice little tip that if you haven't already seen this, this will save you a lot of time and hassle. Let me go get the pot. Okay, so you take the big clove of garlic and you take off as much of the skin as you possibly can, and then you stick the clove of garlic in a pot about this size. You put the lid on and shake it. Shake it for about 25-30 seconds, maybe a minute. And don't overshake it. And then open it up, and you'll see a lot of the skins will be off already, and you'll have a clove like this, and you don't have to peel it. It's kind of a pain in the keister to try to get that skin off of there, isn't it? Well, I learned this while I was in Korea. And that works. That will save you a lot of time, and makes it easier to eat the garlic. And I slice this up really thin with a straight edge blade, a razor blade. And when I start getting a sore throat, if I do, I put that right on my tongue and I soak that in. And I'll tell you what, a little bit of honey, some juice of a lemon or lime, and within minutes, my sore throat is usually gone. I try to eat garlic every day, and my buddy up there in Edmonton, Ryan, he does too. He puts it in the juice just like that. And I wanted to also bring to your I got one more thing here, the pepper, the green pepper, all kinds of different peppers, folks. And before I went to Asia, I used to get sick every once in a while. Every couple of years, I'd get so sick because my immune system was so worn down. I was working so much, not eating healthy foods. The wife got away from healthy foods because she wanted to do her thing, and she was feeding the kids macaroni and cheese at the very end of our marriage, and that was what ended the marriage. I said, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to be on my own tonight for dinner again after working hard all day. But I wanted to show you, when I was in Asia, when I lived in Thailand, they cook with these spices, these red hot different peppers. And I haven't had a cold. I haven't even had so much as the sniffles. I had the sniffles just yesterday a little bit. I had to blow my nose a little bit, and it started getting. But that's it, folks. And I attribute that to the garlic, the pepper, the peppers, the onion, and eating healthy foods, and exercise, and lots of sleep. And I tell you what, and no junk. I try to stay away from the junk as much as possible. Now, hey, I got a weakness for chips and some salt, okay? And there's nothing wrong with having salt, folks. A lot of these people are talking about this, leave this out, leave that out. But they'll be drinking a Diet Pepsi as they're eating a double bacon cheeseburger. Now, tell me how that makes any sense. And people wonder why they're sick. And pork. Folks, I haven't had pork. I had pork one time when I was in South Korea. When I realized that the Bible didn't, that Acts chapter 10, I never did like pork anyway, but after Acts chapter 10 is not talking about you can eat pork now. You can go home and have yourself a ham sandwich. No, that's not it, folks. Once I realized that pork is not food. Oh, it tastes good. Bacon, oh my goodness. Bacon, smell of bacon. And it's not food. Pork is not food. Skunk is not food. Hyena is not food. Eagle is not food. Zebra is not food. Horse is not food unless you're really, really hungry. You get my point? Pork, even though it smells good and it has a taste to it that can be enhanced, and you like your pork chops and you like your hams, you're getting sick from it. I stopped eating pork while in Thailand because I realized what they fed the pigs. They put the buckets, the 5-gallon buckets, on the side of the restaurants on the curb, and the restaurants would throw all their crap food in there that people didn't eat, and all the trimmings and all that, and then the pig farmers come around and pick it up, and that's what the pigs were eating. And pigs eat their own shit. And I understand that the urine is in the skin of a pig. I got to check that in, but they retain the urines. I got to check that, but there's something about the urine in a pig that's not good, and you're eating that stuff. Also, in South Korea, the pig farmers would be taking their hogs to market or the slaughterhouse, and you could smell them a mile away. I always knew when a hog farmer was in and carrying his hogs in the back of the steak truck, because you could smell the hogs. Those are the most disgusting animals, and people eat that stuff, and you wonder why you're getting sick. At my age, in my mid-60s, like I said, I haven't had a cold for at least since 1999, 1998. How many years is that? Almost 20 years. And I'm healthy. I haven't had a knee replacement. I haven't had a hip replacement. I haven't had an operation. I'm not allergic to anything. And when I go in to see the doctor or the dentist, and they make you fill out all those, have you had this? No, 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 no. And I go in there and he says, you're not allergic to anything? No. You never been in the hospital? No. You're not taking any prescription drugs? No. They can't believe it. They cannot believe that I am not, that I am not taking any of their, or haven't had any of these illnesses. And they want to get me, when I had a elevated blood pressure a little bit, they wanted to put me on their pill. I said, no, 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 no. I'm low in potassium, and sure enough, I went and got on potassium, and the blood pressure went back down to normal. And as far as I know, it's still normal. Folks, God has created everything that we need, and He's provided everything we need to stay healthy. You just need to avail yourself to the different kinds of food that He has provided. And then there's, herbs and cannabis oil and apple cider vinegar. It just goes on and on and on, folks. If you're not healthy, it's because you're probably eating the wrong food, not exercising enough, and you're not getting enough rest, and you're under stress. Quit trying to make the extra buck and chill out. Relax a little bit. You don't need the new flat screen. You don't need the new truck. You don't have to have a bigger house. What you need is more time to relax and reflect on the Creator. Spend your time with fruitful things. Don't get caught up in the Jewish mindset of having to have more money. Money's not that important, folks. I learned that when I was overseas. Anyway, I don't want to make this too much of a long video, so I'm going to cut her there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of the Creator, our God, be with us all, for we most certainly need it. See ya.